Thanks very much for joining. So today we're actually going to start from all fours. So make your way to hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Look for a nice rooted effort through the hands. And then gently pressing through the tops of the feet. Making sure that big toe and little toe is in contact with the mat as much as possible. And then just double check the spacing, make sure the hands haven't moved a little bit too far forwards or back. And then we'll gently work through some easy cat-cows to begin with. So rolling through the tailbone, pressing into the mat on your exhale. And then just gently inhaling, raising the gaze, rolling through the back. And then on your exhale, rolling it through into your cat again. And then take it back to cow, slowly. Rolling through, and then really think about the movements into the spine. So from the tailbone right the way through the lower back into the upper back, kind of behind the back of the neck as well. And working really as smoothly as possible. And then we can take a bit of attention, bring that to the hands, see if you can root down through the hands, especially the knuckles, basically the thumb. Look for the foundation through the tops of the feet as well. Might even be a tiny bit of effort through both the knees and then slowly rolling through. And then take yourself back into your cat. Nice and slowly bring it back to all fours. And then we'll take a lateral movement of the spine as well. So you're going to look over the right shoulder, just look to that right heel. And then nice and slowly swinging that over towards the left heel. And then take that through. Notice how the weight moves from left to right arm. And then gently bringing that back around. Great. One last time. So have a little look over that right shoulder again. And then come through to look at your left. Awesome. We'll bring it back to all fours. Root down through the hands a little bit more. We'll take a bit more weight through the tops of the feet. And then you might find that you want to just lift the hips up and the knees up for a couple of minutes. So really putting loads of effort into those hands. So it could be just for a split second, just up and then down. Maybe you're up for a few seconds, a few breaths. And then slowly taking that back down. We can come up again, then this time just double check that we've got this really strong active effort into the hands. So pressing out and away from the hands to really make that upper back almost doming as much as possible. And then really pressing, breathing, and then gently releasing. Great. We're going to take the big toes together, knees as wide as you like, and then you're going to swing back with your hips. So as slow as you like, look for that little release of the chest down towards the mat. Top of the head comes down as well. Maybe those hands stay forwards. If you want a little bit of a stretch into the shoulders, you can take the hands into a prayer position. Just bring those behind the head. Bring the hands behind the head and then look for a walking forward to the elbows. So you're trying to draw those elbows as far away from you as possible. Breathing deeply into the back body. Nice big exhale, look for that heaviness into the chest. Perfect, so we'll slowly inhale. On your next exhale, release the hands forwards. You're going to plant the hands a little bit stronger into the mat. Swing yourself back up onto your all fours. Take the hips forward. Bring the knees back in alignment underneath the hips. We'll take the weight forwards over the hands. Swing the hips up and over, back behind you. So we're coming through plank into your downward facing dog. And then really pressing out and away from the hands. Look for that lift of the hips up. Root down through both the hands. And then shake a little bit yes and no with the head. So Nice even breaths. Pedaling through the feet. Look for that little subtle release of those hamstrings as you really press the hands down and away. Again, looking for the flattening of those knuckles. We're gently inhale, just going to lift the heels as high as you can. Keep that lift of the hips up as you gently exhale, and then bring the heels as far down as they want to go. So it's kind of more important to keep that lift of the hips, that length into the back, pressing into the hands. Nice loose neck, rather than kind of focusing in too much on how far down the heels want to go. Nice big inhale, big exhale to release. And then we'll have a last big inhale. And then gently exhaling. Bring one knee down, followed by the other knee. You're going to walk one knee back, and then the other knee. And then we're going to take yourself down so you're on forearms. And then slowly release the chest down as far as it wants to go. So come into heart to earth pose, looking for a little opening into the shoulders. More kind of into the chest. So really exhaling, releasing. You might find that on the inhale you want to back out slightly, so working more dynamically. On your exhale, looking for a little release, maybe a little bit further than on the previous breath. But we're keeping those hips above the knees, looking for a little bit of space, a bit of opening into the chest. Great. And then maybe staying here, so looking for that release, you might exhale and then inhale back out slightly. If you want to take it a tiny step further, start to work a bit more into the shoulders, press into those forearms, really root down through the hands as much as possible. Tuck the toes, swing the hips up into your forearm downward facing dog. Head clears the mat, so we don't have the top of the head resting on the mat, but pedaling through the feet. You might find that you can start to walk the feet a little bit closer towards you. It's going to work the top of the head down, more so it's perpendicular to the mat. Pedal through the feet, nice big inhale. Big exhale. Feel strong through the forearms. So right the way through the whole forearm, from middle finger, palms down the forearms to elbow. Keeping that lift of the hips up as best you can, nice and loose through the neck. Awesome, awesome. Just pedal through. And then give yourself a last couple of breaths. So big inhale, big exhale, and then last big inhale. Gently exhale, release the knees down. Walk yourself back slightly. So we'll meet those in our heart to earth pose again. Looking for that little release of the chest down, opening into the shoulders. Great, and then we'll walk that forwards. We're going to take the knees a little bit further forwards as we take ourselves back onto all fours. We'll bring the weight over the hands. From your plank, tuck the toes, or half plank, into plank. Swing then the hips up and over into downward facing dog. Pedal through the feet. Keep the lift of the hips there. See if there's any change to the downward facing dog, having worked in forearm dog. How does it feel to be back on the wrists again? Pedal through. Press into the hands, lift the hips, shake the head a little bit, yes, a little bit, no. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting with those hips. Big inhale, and then we're going to, on your exhale, walk step or hop your way up to the top of the mat. Spread those toes out as much as you like. Top of the head is nice and loose as well. Have a little tap towards the left and then towards the right hand side. Feel nice and heavy through the top of the head. Resisting that temptation to stare at the toes, we'll gently just plant the left palm, open out as best you can with the right hand up nice and high, really opening into that chest, so feeling like it's broadening towards the right hand side. Gently exhale, Bring that down. Left hand comes up high this time. And then nice and slow. On your next exhale, we'll release that back down. Great. Big inhale, halfway lift. Bring the hands to shins, knees or thighs. Top of the head's lovely and tall. Bring the elbows back behind you. Just feel like the top of the head is nice and tall. And then we'll exhale to release. Gently inhale again, halfway lift. Then from the halfway lift, you're going to bring yourself up to mountain pose. So just lift the top of the head up, open into the chest, have the shoulders nice and broad. Big inhale, big exhale. Hands are open either side of you. And then we'll take another big inhale. And big exhale. So slowly breathing, looking for that lift to the chest. Top of the head's tall. On your next inhale, bring the hands up above the head. Lead with the chest. You're going to take the hands forwards. Bend through the knees whenever you like. Release that down into that standing forward fold. Top of the head is nice and heavy. Have a tap towards the left hand side and then towards the right. And then gently, gently, well again, inhale, halfway left. Top of the head's nice and tall. Elbows back behind you, and then we'll gently exhale to release again. So breathing nice and deep, maybe just letting the hands again tap towards the right, towards the left, looking for that little opening into the hamstrings. Great, and then we'll slowly, we're going to plant the hands. You're just going to take the right foot back behind you. Back knee can be up or down, whichever you prefer. You're going to have the hands either side of that front foot. So back knee is down, or lift up a little bit. If back knee's up, so maybe hands stay on hips. Having a little bit of a lifting up energy into the hips. So not necessarily that we feel like we're sinking forwards into this right hip. It feels like there's a little bit of effort lifting this right hip up. Sometimes you can make that happen by drawing the left foot a little bit towards you, pulling the right foot a little bit further back. And you can still have that same sense of effort, the sense of direction, the left foot pulling towards you, the right foot pulling towards the middle as well, even with the back knee up as well. Kind of works the body in a slightly different way. Great, so wherever you are, just breathing nice and evenly into the hips. Have a big inhale, big exhale. Then we've got the hands on the hips with the back knees up. We'll take the back knee down, and then we'll bring the hands back down to frame that front foot as well. And then kind of planting this right hand down to the inside of the left leg. We'll keep the left knee over the left ankle. And then open out. So the left hand comes to the left hip. We might open out. You might bring that back knee up again as you open up. And then the gaze is either looking up towards the top hand. You might be looking towards the wall. You might bring the gaze down towards that foot. Opening the chest towards the left hand side, towards the knee. Make sure it doesn't close up at all. Whenever you like on your exhale, that top hand comes back down. Frame the front foot. Swing the left foot back behind you. You're in downward facing dog. Nice big inhale, and then a big exhale. Pedal through the feet. Really lift those hips up. Great, we'll bring the right foot up, just swing that forwards. So now we're in a lunge on the other side. And then we had that option, so either back knee up or down, whichever you liked more. And then just having a think, firstly, if we could just firm up a little bit through the hips, so instead of sinking forwards, we've got this sense of kind of drawing inwards, which helps lift and just build a bit of stability into the hip rather than just stretching a bit too much on that left front side. You might have the hands down, framing that front foot. You could have the hands just on the hips a little bit higher, working nice and evenly into both legs, or of course you could have the back knee up if you want to. Always welcome to take the hands up as well. Don't think I've offered that before, but feel free if you want to take the hands up nice and high. Maybe interlace the fingers above the head. Wherever you are, just have a play around. Look for that little stretching, that opening into the hips so it's nice and comfortable. And then just breathing nice and deep. So we're always breathing where it's comfortable. And then gently, gently. If your hands are up high, we'll bring them back to the hips. We're going to sink that left knee back down towards the mat. And then take the left hand to the inside of that right foot. You're going to open out towards the right. So looking for right hand to right hip. If you want to, you can keep that back knee down. Just work on opening the chest. Maybe back knee comes up. Maybe the right arm comes up as well. Can look up towards the hands, can keep the gaze down towards the bottom hand, or maybe you're looking forwards. Great, so really pressing out with the chest as best you can wherever you're at. Still stretching a little bit, working through both the legs. Big inhale, big exhale. Perfect, we'll slowly release. If you've got that right arm up high, bring that back to the hip. We'll release the back knee down. We'll take the back knee or the back foot up. So we're actually going to step up back into your standing forward fold. Release a little bit. Tap towards the left, towards the right. Big inhale, halfway lift. Feel nice and tall. And then gently exhale. We'll release back down. Top of the head's heavy. Great, we'll plant the hands. We're going to take the right foot back, followed by the left foot into your plank pose. So feel nice and rooted, pressing through the hands. And then swing yourself up and over, back behind you, downward facing dog. So pedal through the feet. Again, have a little check. Does it feel any easier? Is it the same? See if you need to shorten the stance a little bit to get those hips up higher. Feel like the back's nice and long. Maybe you need to lengthen the stance, put the hands a bit away from you if it feels like you're way too close, too short. We can always have the feet a little bit wider as well, even to the edges of the mat sometimes, just to see what it feels like to build a bit more space into the hips. Nice big inhale. Release through the head. Big exhale. And then we're going to bring one knee down, followed by the other knee. We're on all fours. And then we're going to bring this right knee forwards. And then take the right foot across the body. So heading towards pigeon. Sinking slightly into the hips. And then we'll bring a bit of lift first of all. So really trying to work this chest open. Top of the head gets tall. The back gets nice and long. And then we're looking for maybe like a sense of lift up through the top of the head to begin with. And then once we hopefully find that, it might feel like that we've got loads of length into the back. And we'll keep that as we walk forwards. Maybe the hands just root down. Maybe it feels like you can release the forearms down, top of the head releases as well. And that left foot releases down to the mat. So having a play around, see if the left or the right side of the hips needs to release a little bit to meet the mat. While we keep the breath nice and even, keeping that length through the back. Right, so slowly, we're going to tuck the left toes, just lift the left knee up for a few moments. Take a bit more effort through the forearms. And then we're gently going to walk ourselves back up to normal pigeon. forearms. And then we'll take loads of effort into the back toes that are tucked. Swing the hips up into downward facing dog. Really press out and away, pedal through, see how that feels. And then we're going to swap to the other side, so left foot as high as you like. And then swing that through. So left knee behind left hand. Sink a little bit into the hips, come into your pigeon pose. Keep that lift of the chest, feel nice and tall through the top of the head. Both the shoulders are open. Once you've got that, then just keep walking it forwards. To sink a little bit into the left hand side. Maybe the right side of the hips as well. So have a think, where does it naturally feel like the hips are a little bit heavier or need to stretch a tiny bit more into? Great, and then just breathing into the hips, looking for those slightly longer breaths. Perfect. We'll begin to tuck the toes on the back foot, so your right foot tucks slightly. That right knee raises a little bit off the mat. Square off the hips a fraction, see how that stretches into the left side of the hips. And then you're going to bring a bit more weight into the hands. Start to lift up, bring yourself into this upright pigeon. Spread the hands out as much as possible, really root through them. Swing the hips up, take the weight into downward facing dog. Curl through the feet. Bring a little lift into the hips. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. Final downward facing dog of the day, so pedaling through the feet. Looking for that lift. Nice big even breath. Have a final pedal through the feet to really bend this right knee forward, stretch through that left calf, and then really bending the left leg. Looking for that straightening, that release into the right calf will really straighten out, and then we're going to, nice big inhale, big exhale, release the knees back down, flip on over to your back, take those knees up tall, and then release back onto the mat. We'll bring the knees towards the right hand side, feel really heavy through the knees. Maybe we'll start to draw the top knee a little bit closer over the bottom knee, just to deepen the twist a fraction. That feels comfortable. We'll slowly inhale, take the knees through centre to the left hand side. Same rules as before, so maybe this top knee comes just a little bit closer towards the bottom knee to deepen into that twist. See if this right shoulder, the right shoulder blade can stay rooted into the mat as well. And then gently, gently, we'll bring the knees up to face towards the ceiling. Bring the fingertips just so they're within reach of the heels. So we've got these heels underneath knees. We'll come to a little bridge pose. So maybe rolling through, lifting, looking for that lift of their hips. Pressing, firming through the hands nice and strongly. Front to the feet, have lots of effort. Into your settee bandha or bridge pose. Big inhale, big exhale. We'll roll through gently down from the back. Inhale. Raise the tailbone once again, maybe lifting a fraction higher this time. You might take the arms up above the head, so really reaching as far as you like. And then nice and slow, roll through the back, take the hands down either side of you, and then enjoy that release of the back down onto the mat. Perfect. We'll slowly take one foot long, followed by the other foot. Maybe we'll release the hands either side of you as well. Take an inhale, and then an exhale. Feel a little bit heavier through the whole body. Notice the points of contact with the back body into the mat. On your exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Just notice the whole body releasing a little bit more into the mat on your exhale. And then just noticing the next few breaths in your own time. So slowly. Start to deepen the breath fraction. And then take a bit of movement into the hands, into the feet. Start to stretch through those heels. Take the hands up above the head. Reach. And then we'll slowly draw one knee in towards you, followed by the other knee. Give a little hug up into the chest, and then we'll roll to one side. Come through to seated. And then look for a nice big deep breath, biggest, deepest breath of all day. And exhale as well. Namaste. Thanks very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed, and hopefully see you again very soon.